guys, it's Friday. We got football stuff going today. The title says, talking about versatility, utility players, We'll get to that one in a second. But for the international player shout out, now this is like a super duper shout out. Because before, I'd just say, this is a friend I have on Facebook. They're a really good player. This is their position. Here's what their team is, Facebook page. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Germany, but he's not from Germany. He's from down. Yep. You didn't think we would be going there. Well, we did touch on the Southern Hemisphere before with Brazil. Now we're going to Australia. Brisbane, actually. And as I have a few Australian friends, yes, Brisbane. The American wants to look at that and be like, Brisbane, Brisbane, or whatever. He's a wide receiver. He's only been playing for 4 years. He was playing Australian football before that one. Then he started playing American football. Now he's his second season, Dresden Monarchs. If you guys don't know, Dresden is up in northern Germany. And so he's like a wide receiver, but he's got a YouTube channel too. And that's right there. So you can find the Dresden Monarchs page, you can find his Facebook page, and there's a link to his YouTube channel because he vlogs. Now, I'll say this much. I mean, I haven't seen any highlights from him, but he's got the best, almost for a dumb American, I want to say quintessential Australian accent. I have a friend who has kind of a royal Australian accent and he sounds more British, but this guy, it's great. I don't mean to, but so that's that. I'd say go to his channel, subscribe. Currently, as I'm looking at it right now on my computer, he's got 83 subscribers. He has 5 vlogs, 5 videos. But as he gains more subscribers, as I know from personal experience, it'll urge you to make more videos because then you actually get some feedback. Comment on his videos, like them, all that jazz. Again, there's a link in the card. There's, a link in his thing. I'll put a link at the end of the video here too, just so you guys can not have to worry. And you'll see stuff. Like I said, his channel's called Punting for the People, so he's a wide receiver and a punter. And I'm a linebacker and long snapper. We got our position, and he probably also plays on defense, but only when it's absolutely necessary. The concept of this video, because previously when I tried playing football back in 2013, technically I didn't try out for a team till 2014, but I had been practicing before that. I was trying for wide receiver, and my friend Brad was helping me in basically catching the ball and running and how to stand and all the very basic stuff. And then but we didn't talk about routes because I knew nothing. So I went out to the Portland Monarchs trying to be a wide receiver. I had no idea what routes were. I sucked at catching. I mean, I could put my hands up and try to catch the ball, but I didn't know the art of catching the ball. So I was just like, ka. I was alligating arm all over them. It was a terrible idea because most of the people that were skill players on that team had been playing for 15 years or so and knew far more than I did. And yeah, when half your job is catching the ball and I'm bad at it, you move on. I moved over to defensive back because you don't have to catch the ball, and in fact, getting your hand near the ball and making sure someone else doesn't catch it is a benefit. So that was a joy. So I spent 3 years working on that one through Coach Up, and especially with Willie's help and a couple other guys from the team, got better at defensive back. When it comes down to that, you also need to be one heck of an athlete, and I was not that yet. I mean, you got to be super fast because you're running after. I mean, you can do angles and stuff, but you still have to be really fast. And I was constantly blown out of the water by Willie. To be fair, he's super fast in compared to much of the receivers we have in our league. Even so, my first year, I was So I worked all on defensive back, specifically corner, then with Coach Up, did that stuff. Moving now towards the present, I realized in my 3rd year of defensive back that I was just like, this is not a thing for me. I don't feel good about this position. I don't have the to play a corner. Some guys, they love playing corner. Malcolm, you'll see him this year, possibly, if he wants to be on camera. He wants to be a corner. He loves being a corner. He loves getting up in someone's face and jamming a lot of them. I'm sitting there, I'm at outside linebacker. I've got hook to curl, he's got flats, safety over the top. He's like my guy, because we're on strong side. So I'm a Sam linebacker, and he's, left corner. He gets right up there. I'm a little bit further off of the ball. He's right up in their face. Like I said, I never had the oomph to play corner. I have the to play linebacker. I love playing linebacker. As this thing is about not my history, but versatility. I've also felt like, I don't know, there was just like something in the back of my mind said long snapper. I don't know why. I was always just I was just crazy impressed watching long snapping videos. I'd see things on Facebook from, long snapping competitions, or a bunch of guys all get together at the end of the thing at Nike and they do long snapping and everyone's like, whoa, and they clock it. I don't know why. Just something said, do it. And I was like, okay, fine. I mean, really, it takes, I need a soccer net or a lacrosse net and multiple balls. I mean, I don't need like 20, but I need like not one. Although I'm spending a lot more time walking than I am snapping. But not too many that I can't carry them. So like I have 3 right now. So I picked up long snapping and I wound up actually being pretty good at it. As of this season, one of our coaches actually figured it might be a good idea that I play offensive guard. So I've got linebacker, defensive back, long snapper, guard, and since I have technically line training, and if I ever get on a team that runs that, I could technically be a tight end because I know my routes now and I'm better at catching. I can also work as an end blocker. Anyways, so it's like there's receiver, there's guard, there's linebacker, there's defensive back, corner, and then there's a thing on special team, let alone if I'm on kickoff. That's just that. I mean, I don't kick, but a lot of people, and I've heard this from people, I don't want to be a utility player. That's not a thing. You don't have a you anywhere on the field. But technically, you are anywhere on the field. It's understandable, much like, and we're going to bring this up with gaming, specifically World of Warcraft, because it makes a little bit more sense. When you have a mage or a rogue, you pretty much do one thing. You have 3 ways of doing one thing. It's like it's sort of like as a receiver. You can be a tight end, you can be a slot receiver, or you can be the wide out. But you're still a receiver. That's all you're doing is running around and catching a ball, technically. I mean, no, there's more to it. Flame me in the comments, I don't care. And that's just like with a mage. You can shoot fire, you can shoot ice, or you can shoot raw arcane energy. But you're still only doing damage. And you can specialize and do that really well. But that's all you can do. When it comes down to being a utility player or versatility, which I know is a very bad stat in World of Warcraft aside from tanks, maybe some healers, but I don't stack it. I also don't play healers. The more positions you can play, especially when you're younger, the better you are at getting on the field and getting the raw field experience you need. And the more positions you play, the more you find out which ones you like. If you're a skinny kid and you're tall, and you don't necessarily, they keep putting you at receiver, but you're not really good at catching, maybe a free safety. I mean, go out and play free safety. Go out and play strong safety. Play corner. You never know. Just play all the positions, especially when you're young. Obviously, if you're like 5'2" and 110 pounds, please don't get put on the line unless you're in like 6th grade, and then that's huge. If you're in high school, that's probably not a great place for you. You're going to get mowed over. But that's the thing. Don't take versatility, utility as a bad thing. So you're not specialized. For certain guys, if you specialize and then suddenly you go a team that's just socked in with a whole bunch of receivers, because apparently everyone is a skill player these days, what do? I mean, yeah, you have to fight super hard to get to get onto the field, but even then, there's still favorites that can be played. You can't stop that from happening. You can maybe try to find a team that doesn't do that very much, but again, we're all human. And so I'm looking up utility player with the Wikipedia article for gridiron football. It says in gridiron football, the utility player is often capable of playing multiple positions and often may play in both offense and defense. Now, a lot of this just describes someone who plays like receiver and corner, or defensive end and tight end, or defensive line and center sort of thing. Or say quarterback and safety, linebacker, running back. You play your complementary positions. And that's fine. That gets you more on the field on both sides of the ball. But I'm saying don't be afraid to get into other positions. Just because you could be, if you're a slot, you can actually be a decent linebacker. Because you're pretty fast and you're squirrely and you got the agility. I'm not saying it says the triple threat man was one who could run, pass, and kick, was particularly popular during the early days of football from the time the forward pass was invented to to the World War II era. We're going way back here when this thing's talking about. But there's been multiple people, if you're a double threat quarterback, then that's pretty cool. Nowadays, when you've got NFL teams, you're hired for one position because they've got tons of people that they want, and so they can pick the cream of the crop. And in college, similar, especially when you're in the higher schools, like D1, D2, they're, got a lot of people on the team, a lot of people on the roster. But sometimes if you're in a small high school, small youth program, if you're in semi-pro, you may ask to play multiple positions. And don't think of you are not specialized, thus you suck. It means that the coach has confidence to put you in multiple positions, which means you're all around good. I understand jack of all trades, master of none. I understand that term. The great thing about that is, like with a graph, this is your master of one. This can be your jack of all trades. So you don't have that little extra bit of skill, considering you don't have that much extra skill in one's position, but you've got that much more skill in all the other positions. So overall, it works better that you are a better, more useful player to the team. And that's kind of what this is about, being a team player, going and playing multiple positions where the coach asks you to. A while back, we had a safety that was like, oh, I'm not really good on the running. I can do sideways, but, it was like blitz. Oh, I can't really blitz. I have bad knees. Okay. You basically said you're not going to do the job. And so that's that. Don't get down on yourself, honestly, and Willie will say this too. I think he said this before. Try every position. Maybe you're actually happy being a receiver, but you could be more happy in another position. Maybe you're not so happy as a guard. Try playing a tackle. Maybe you're not great at, you're not really happy. I mean, you get up in the face of the center as a nose guard, as a nose tackle, but have you tried end? I mean, obviously, if you're the biggest guy on the defense, maybe you're going to be nose tackle, but maybe try a defensive end. Maybe you can just push past an offensive tackle. Like Willie was kind of, he was large as a child, so he played line because he was over the weight multiple times. It's a really fickle weight thing. But then he would move to like fullback, halfback, linebacker, and through high school he was a running back. And for college, he was a running back. But he just kind of kept faster and faster and faster, but he still kept his squirreliness. Now he's a pretty awesome receiver because not only does he have the speed, once he gets open, he can get himself open really fast. He's been pretty much every position on the field but a quarterback, and I think a kicker, although he has practiced punting with me. Again, there's going to be a video at the end if you want to watch my attempts to punt. Like I said, maybe you might like punting. Doesn't mean you won't be able to do another position on the field, but hey, if you can punt really good and be a good running back, that means they don't have to swap someone out on the field. The running back, and it could be weird because they could even hike it to you, they could long snap it to you, and since they're expecting a punt, boom, you just run with it. It's a theory of a play. I mean, obviously you're running from 15 yards back, but if you're a speedy receiver too, and you're like, hey, look, I can punt, but you make in a trick play that like the long snapper snaps it to you, and then all you do is you just grab the ball and you run because you need 5 yards, and the coach is like, yeah, I don't know if we can pass or run that, but then you fake a punt. You just hold on to it for a second, and then your personal protectors run forward in one direction and you run behind them. You basically, it'd be good for a running back to do that too. But again, the concept is there that if you have one skill set and they say you can punt, like if you're a linebacker, go ahead and kick. Become a kicker. Because guess what? Most kickers don't go down the field and block. So you've got 10 guys blocking 10 guys and the returner is running free. The kicker basically sits back and is like, oh, let's not do anything. No. If you're a linebacker and you can kick, guess what? You also run down the field and you go block that kick returner. Or that way you now have 11 on 11, not 11 on 10. But anyways, I've talked a lot. This is a really long video. I know. I just had a lot to get off and talk about, and because it's just like I've been formulating this one all morning and I love it. And I think it's one of those things everybody should really know. So I will chat with you guys next week. In theory, we'll have a gear review. I bought new cleats. In theory, I have my surgery coming up on Wednesday, so I'm not sure. That's why I'm hoping for a gear review, so I don't have to go anywhere. and do anything, I can sit and let my wounds heal. I will chat with you guys next week. Bye.